My name is eMallo. I am an executive director of a couple of organizations here in the United States. I have advice for African Americans and Black people living in the United States concerning the law and the police. I speak out of my own experience and what I have seen in this country. The first thing a Black person in America needs to do to protect himself is to have good attitude towards everything and be patient. And the third thing that is very important is to be aware that United States has a law. It's a lawful country with very structured laws that work. If it's possible, get to know some of the laws. It's not very necessary, but it's very important to get to know some of these important laws that guide your own life and your movement in the country. This will help you a lot to deal with the police and the legal system. The way you speak, the way you look, the way you walk, the way you dress does tell whether a police should brutalize you or not. If a police officer stops you, the first thing you need to do is be calm and relaxed. When I talk of being calm and relaxed, I mean behave as if you were hanging out with somebody having a very great discussion that is serious, but not being stressed out. Feel comfortable in the presence of any police officer and speak audible, clearly, slowly, and friendly, very friendly. Never be afraid of the uniform. Never be afraid of a gun. Never be jittery in the presence of a law enforcement officer. I will repeat this again. Don't be jittery in the presence of a law enforcement officer. And don't be scared in the presence of a law enforcement officer. And don't be afraid. Never be afraid in the presence of a law enforcement officer. And never disrespect or downplay the presence of a law enforcement officer. This is very important. He is not your enemy. Even if he presents himself to you as an enemy in your head, in your mind, in your vein, in your blood, play as if you are not dealing with an enemy. You are dealing with a fellow human being who is simply not acting right. You have to act very right, very intelligently, and according to the law, but behave as if you don't know the law. When an officer asks you a question or tell you to do something, it is very important. If you don't understand why he is asking you, to ask the officer to show you where that is stated in the law. he should pull out his notebook or his pad and show you where the law confirms what he is doing at that point in time. You should ask him, because you don't know the law. You are ignorant of the law. He is learned in the law. You are not. Don't pretend as if you know the law, and don't try to intimidate the officer with the law. Don't provoke him with the law. Ask him in a very friendly, educated manner, peaceful manner, gently, to show you where that is stated in the law. Have a conversation with your officer. He is there to address a situation and to solve a public situation. Even if he acts irresponsibly, he is against the law. You should always also know that here in this United States, every time a police officer appears in your presence, you black man, in less than 3 minutes he will break at least 5 laws. You should be aware of that. He will break laws in your presence, but you will not know it because you are prone to anger. But if you have a great understanding of this, that a police officer who comes in your presence, watch him very carefully and watch the laws he breaks. Take note of them. You have to be patient. You don't have to be scared. You don't have to be jittery to see and understand the laws he is breaking. When an officer understands that you are well educated, you understand the law, he knows the laws he is breaking, and he knows you are well educated, he becomes very careful. A police officer can lose not only his job, a police officer can lose his entire livelihood plus his job and his income and everything he owns. If you act according to the law and intelligently in this America, once he understands that you know what you are doing, he will treat you according to the law. Most of them usurp powers because they are very less educated. If they discover that you understand what you are doing, they will treat you fairly. Don't treat an officer as an enemy, even if he tries to treat you as one. If you do this, there is 90% chances you will always go free, or you will always have an officer answering the law on your behalf. There are other things that we can discuss in the future, but I thought it is important for you to pick this up and work with it. Dress well. If you want to wear white, wear white, or white and black, or brown and blue. Always wear something that matches and doesn't shout. When you put multiple colors on you, you freak police officers and white people out. So watch what you wear, how you talk, how you walk, and the things you do. And you will realize that most often your interaction with police and the law will be less stringent. Thank you very much. I decree a good thing upon your life, and that the rest of your days be blessed.